Welcome to the Impact Marriage Podcast, a place for open and honest conversation about marriage, including very practical advice about how to have a God-honoring marriage. We're your hosts, Allan and Nicole Blain, with 33 years of marriage and, since the age of 20 and 6 children raised, we desire to help you enjoy a passion-filled, mission-driven, relationship-rich marriage.
So, welcome to episode 9 titled Stop Guessing, Start Meeting Your Spouse's Real Needs.
Yes.
So, last week's episode was titled Healthy Spouse, Healthy House, and healthy tips that will benefit your marriage. And it was a little longer one just because we had so much to share about health and how it could either positively or negatively impact a marriage. And it's a topic we feel gets neglected by others who teach on marriage. And we just feel that it's such a shame because one of the major impact is what our health has on our relationships with each other. So that said, this week, we are so excited to discuss the topic of needs and how meeting our spouse's real needs can be such a game changer in our marriages.
Yeah, it really can. This topic is so important. And sadly, many couples never really take the time to consider what, their spouse's most important needs are. They just assume they know, or maybe they don't even think about it, or maybe they don't care. Let's assume they do care, and they just assume they know, and they're likely not right.
Exactly, Allan. And as you might guess, his needs and her needs are typically quite different. The way God made men and women are completely opposite, and it's a wonderful thing. But it's so important we know this about our spouse so that we can do the best job possible, showing them love in a way that they can best receive it, right?
Right. It's important, very important.
Yep.
Most marriages don't fall apart because of one big, massive thing. Most marriages that fall apart slowly drift because needs go unmet. And just a question, have you ever felt like you're trying in a relationship, but it's just not landing? I think,
And
many
then you
of
get
us.
frustrated.
Yeah, for sure. Many people I know can relate with that. And, you can love your spouse deeply and still miss what matters most to them. And we'll talk about why that is here in a minute. But if you don't get what we'll be discussing today, it's a big deal. So we're excited to share this with you. There's a book titled His Needs, Her Needs. In fact, we thought about just titling this episode His Needs, Her Needs, because that's essentially really what we're talking about today. And although we don't agree with everything in the book, we do think the whole idea of the differences that God created between man and woman, his needs, her needs, it is a very, very helpful thing to consider and to have front of mind to really assist you in your marriage.
Yeah. And I feel like once you know these things, it's really quite simple.
Yeah.
Once you know, and then you make those changes, it's so simple. So anyways, but yeah, so true. And today we're going to show you exactly what those needs are and how to win your marriage. I know that everybody that's listening to the show right now wants a healthy marriage and you want to win at your marriage. So you're in the right place.
Yes, for sure.
And so this book that Allan talked about, it shares that there are 10 core emotional needs that we all have in marriage, and that each of them vary in a degree from person to person. But generally speaking, there are 5 that are typically stronger for men, and then 5 others that are typically stronger for women. So we should also give a little disclaimer here.
Yes,
These
we should.
aren't absolutes. They're just simple general tendencies. So you may find that you might identify strongly with the order of priority that most others of the same sex do, or you may find that you are unique and different from most others of your sex. So
let's start by quickly running through the list of 10, shall we?
yeah, let's do it.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and go through
I have a list here.
List of 10, and then we'll backtrack and we'll slowly work through each of these 10.
Yeah.
But let's just start off with letting our guests know what the 10 are.
All right. So number 1 is,
and I'm sorry to interrupt. But I think
No,
it
you're
might be
good.
kind of fun too, as Nicole slowly reads through these 10 for you to just kind of think about in your own mind,
Mm,
whether you're male or
yes.
female, like which ones of they'll all resonate to some degree, but which ones are like a higher priority to you than maybe others.
Yeah. Okay. So number one is sexual fulfillment. I wish I could talk today. Number two is recreational companionship. Number three is physical attractiveness. Number four is domestic support. And number five is admiration. Number six,
AKA respect, like to
yes,
feel
yes.
respected or admired. Yep.
Hmm. And we'll go through each of these. So, number six, attraction. Seven, conversation. Eight, honesty and openness. Nine, financial support. And 10, family commitment.
I love it. So let's break these down in a way that actually helps you apply this today. Okay. So, what most men, we'll start with men, then we'll move to women. Okay. So let's talk about his needs, okay, first, and then we'll talk about her needs.
Okay.
But typically, again, and I think Nicole just already said this a moment ago, is these are generalizations. These are fairly accurate, but not we're all created uniquely, and there's going to be some of you that resonate with different ones. But typically, the five I'm going to mention are a man's top five needs, okay? And typically they would be ranked in this order that I'm going to give you 1 through 5 for a man. Okay. Number one. What do you think it is, by the way? What do you think a man's number
Oh,
one need is typically
so easy.
generally speaking, most men? Again, that's third time I think we've given that disclaimer. I guess I can stop. But what do you think, generally speaking, a man's number one need is? You probably got it. Sexual fulfillment by far and away is the number one thing for most men. And by the way, it's not just physical, ladies. It's connection. It's affirmation. It's being desired by our wife. Okay, it's not just the act of sex. It's knowing she desires me in a sexual man, sexually. That she affirms me in the context of sexual fulfillment. And so I think that's a really important thing to not miss, because it's easy just to think, oh, I gave him sex. That's his number one need. If your husband's like most men, that's his number one need. But really,
Which is important to a man,
which is very
but
important to a
all
man.
these other things are just as important.
Well,
Would you
I don't know
say?
if they're just as important. I think that for most men, this is the most important.
Yes, yes. It's all goes together.
Yeah, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying, what I'm trying to communicate is that it's so much more than the act of sex. Somewhat wife
Yes,
could
yeah.
think, I just gave my husband
Yes.
sex. We had sex, check.
Yep.
His number one need has been fulfilled. And what I'm saying is maybe not.
Yeah.
Even if his number one need is sexual fulfillment, and even if you have sex
Yeah.
often, he
Yeah.
still may be lacking sexual fulfillment. Why?
Mhm.
Because maybe he's not feeling like, yeah, maybe you give it to him, but maybe he's not feeling like you desire sex with him. That's all part of this
Yes, yes.
package
He
that we
wants to
desire.
feel loved. He wants to feel
Wanted.
like wanted, like Superman. Like
Exactly.
you are my stud.
Exactly.
Like I
Exactly.
want you.
Yes. And that's the affirmation in the context
Yes.
of sexual fulfillment
Goes right in there.
too, that we
Yes.
want. We want to be, we not only want to have sex, we want our wife to desire sex with us,
Yes.
and we want to be affirmed that we're doing a good job.
Yeah.
You know,
That you're feeling like a stud.
yeah, we want to feel like a stud. Of
Yeah.
course. So, okay, number one, sexual fulfillment. Number two, any guesses on that one? I'll tell you.
This
For
one
sake
I
of
didn't
time.
know. This one I was pretty shocked. I was like, whoa, but it made sense to me. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Recreational companionship is how the book describes it. But basically, a man wants a friend, not just a partner. He wants to
He
do
wants a
life
playmate.
together. He wants a
He wants
playmate.
a
That's
playmate.
another great word, Nicole.
Yes. Like
Playmate.
when you were in kindergarten, it's like,
Yes.
come play with me. Let's
Yeah.
let's go on the bars together
And
or
this is,
whatever.
again, most men, and I certainly relate with this. Like, if they're into golfing and you wanted to get into golfing with them, they'd probably love that, you know?
Yeah.
If they're into fishing and you wanted to go fishing with them, like, they'd
Like
probably
you,
love
you
that.
love fishing.
Now, I know as soon as I say this, there's some guys that would be like, "No, I would rather, maybe not fish with my wife." But man, I would argue they're missing out on the most amazing thing in the
Mm,
world to get to be, well,
yeah.
the most amazing thing in the world is a big statement, but to get to do the things that we love with our life partner, our wife. I think it's just the most amazing thing.
It
So
is.
I identify with this heavily, the desire for recreational companionship. And I'm thankful we have that. We get to work out together. We
Okay,
get to
that's
do
what
a
I knew
lot
you
of
were gonna
different
say,
things
yeah.
together, wake surf together, and the
Yeah.
list goes on and on. But do business together. I know
Yeah.
that's not really recreational, but kind of it
It
is for
kinda
us.
is, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, so that's it. Number 2, recreational companionship. Number 3, physical attractiveness. Okay. Again, these are ranked highest of priority to lowest for most men. Number 3, physical attractiveness. And I just want to say, ladies, that for most men, for most of us men, it's effort matters. It's not perfection. It's not perfection. It's effort. It's that Nicole cares about
I take
what she
showers,
eats.
I put on deodorant, right?
Oh, that too. Yes.
Sometimes I do my
You
hair
smell
nice.
good.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that she cares about how she looks for me. That she cares about what she eats so she's not obese, that she cares about
Mhm.
exercising so that she can be fit. And so anyway, I think that's, a big deal. And yeah, it shows, yeah, it shows respect too, to care about, like, her caring about my desires to be attractive for me, makes me feel valued. It makes me feel, like, um, I don't know, makes me feel more confident, makes me, it makes me happy, makes me feel great. So, the result is I'm more attracted to my wife. I pursue her more.
Mhm.
I engage more with her. That's just the way it is. So, number 3, again, physical attractiveness. Number 4, domestic support. Okay. Number
Mm.
4 is domestic support. Guys want a peaceful, well managed home environment. Men,
Mm.
we want teamwork. We want to be able to, and not that women don't either. All these things can apply to women as well. This is just the top 5 for men. But we want responsibilities divided. We want each other support. I want to support her in her roles. I want her supporting me in my roles. I want to feel like we're a team. I want a
We are a
system that
team, yeah.
works. This is typically most men. We want a system that works. But bottom line, we want to come home to a peaceful, well managed home environment. And
Where it
so,
feels like
for
home, so you can
where a home
relax.
feels like home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
that's good.
important.
So, to have my wife, or to have a man to have his wife, to provide that, because that is her domain primarily,
Mhm.
typically, that's a really valuable thing. Number 5, admiration. We want to be respected. We we want our wife to respect us. We want our wife to admire us. We want our wife to think we're great, to look up to us. I mean, respect is like oxygen to a man, you know? It's been said, women want to be loved and men want to be
It's
respected.
true.
And of course, men want to be loved too, and of course, women want to be respected too.
Yeah.
But, like, if there was just one great overwhelming desire that women have, it's to be loved, right? If there's one great overwhelming desire men have, it's to be respected, um, publicly, encouraging us. You can
Mm.
publicly, compliment your husband. You can publicly show respect, show admiration. Oh, what a amazing way to fill his cup. And same thing privately. I mean, it means so much when Nicole does this privately in our home where nobody else hears. I mean, it means the world to me
Mhm.
when she builds me up and tells me what she admires or respects about me or appreciates about me. And it also means the world to me when she does it publicly in front of other people too, which I love. Both are important. Equally, I would say, to me, important. So anyway, these 5 are widely identified as the top 5 male needs in the book. Okay. So again, Sexual fulfillment, number one. Recreational companionship, number two. Physical attractiveness, number three. Domestic support, number four. Taking care of that home. And number five, admiration and respect. So that's for men. Nicole,
Yeah.
what do you think about those five? What do you think women? Which of these do you think women most? Is there one that stands out to you that
Well, that's
women
what I was
most
going to ask.
misunderstand?
That's what
Maybe
I was going to ask you. Yeah. Yeah. I think number one, the ones that have been married longer, I would hope and pray they would understand. You know, um, but coming into a marriage like that first year or whatever, I think a lot of women don't know how important it is, the first one. I
sexual
mean,
fulfillment.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a big one. How important. I mean,
Well, I
look at
know.
pornography and how big it is. Why?
Yeah.
Because obviously guys are not getting their needs met there.
Speaking of
I mean, it's
pornography,
sin. I mean,
yeah,
it's sin,
right.
but
Yeah, there's
but
no excuse for it.
obviously, like, they aren't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead. I'm
Um,
sorry.
talking to a pastor of a mega church, like maybe 9 or 10,000 attendees each Sunday on the main campus, and they were saying that, I forget the number, but they were saying that because there's Wi-Fi there at the church, they were having, like, this was a few years ago, but they were having maybe 300,
Oh, I remember this.
was it
Yeah.
3 or 400 hits
Yeah.
on their Wi-Fi
Yeah.
to pornography
Mhm.
websites all on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
These are people, I guess men and women, probably more men than
It's an
women, but
addiction.
these are people that could not even drive to church and then get off the church parking lot without hitting a pornography
Awful.
website.
Yeah.
It was in the hundreds. I think it was
Yeah.
300 or 400 or 500 out of 9,000 at church on a Sunday morning. Is that not insane?
Yeah. That
I
that
mean,
that
that's
blew me away.
that's the problem. But yeah, I'm so thankful that you had a Titus 2 woman in your life years
I
ago
did. Yeah.
that gave you great counsel and just talked
Oh,
about
yeah.
how,
Important it
it
is.
definitely wasn't the counsel of the world today. It definitely
Mm-mm.
was not the
Mm-mm. I'm
counsel that,
so
the
thankful.
world will tell wives.
Mhm.
But I'm so thankful for that. And it's been such a blessing to
Oh,
our marriage
yeah,
for sure.
such a blessing. And then also, Alan, I think number 2, is one that women, um
Recreational
yeah,
companionship.
recreational. Like, that was one that I was shocked about, like, "Whoa, that's important to man." I mean,
Yeah.
that's so easy to do. I mean, and it's fun, like, yeah. So, and, my love language is quality time, so I'm like, "Okay, I'll do any type of recreational, you know, thing with you. You wanna go fish? Let's go fish. You wanna work
Yeah.
out? Let's go work
Yeah.
out. Whatever. You wanna go play pickleball? Let's do it."
I love it. I love
So,
it.
or, some men like to watch football and, you know, some men, it's important to them if their woman, is like rooting for that team,
Right.
that he loves so
Yes.
much.
Yes. Yes.
So
I love it. So, okay. So let's jump to her needs, Nicole. What are the
her
top
needs.
5
Okay, you ready?
women
Okay.
typically for
What
women?
what women typically need
Yeah.
most? Okay. So, number 1 is affection. We need affection. And we're not talking about, I mean, right away, guys like, oh, affection, I could do that. That's my number 1. No, we're not talking about non-sexual touch. I mean, we're talking about non-sexual touch. Excuse me. We're not talking so much sex, although it could be sex, like it could, but
But that's not what this is.
no, this is
No.
just like, sometimes we just want to be held, we want kindness, tenderness. We just want to be loved on, maybe a back rub. And so, yeah, we need affection. It's so important. Oh, thank you, hon. And number 2 is conversation. I mean, women, we like to talk. We want to talk. We need to get it out. And sometimes we just need you to hear us and also talk back as well. Conversation is big.
When you need
And you
to,
got to realize that we don't want you to fix the problem, because men, that's their first thing they want to do. Okay. They just want to fix the problem. No, we want true connection, and we just want to be heard. We just
yeah.
want to be heard. So, and you've gotten really good at that. Even if you like sometimes don't agree on stuff, or, you're like, okay, yeah. And how did that make you feel? So,
Oh,
yeah. So
working on it. We're working on it over here.
conversation's huge. And that's a big one for me, I know, because quality time, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
So I could just sit and talk forever. That's why I love going on a road trip with you, hun, because you're locked in that car. You can't escape, and we can have such great conversation.
Yeah.
Great conversation.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and I
And I
know
love it
so many
too.
women are
And
relating right
and
now.
there and I just want to say too, all of these, I mean, I care about affection. A
Yeah,
typical woman's
of
number one.
course.
I care about conversation. A woman's, typical number two. And Nicole's going to get to number three here in a minute. But like, it's not that these aren't things men desire too. It's just different, right? I mean, I forget where I saw this, but the average woman says 15,000 words a day, speaks 15,000 words a
Ooh,
day or
it's
something
a
like
lot.
that.
I don't think
Whereas the average man speaks 5,000 words a day. So we're just wired differently, right? It's
yeah,
not that
it's the
it's
way
not
God made
important to
us.
have a conversation for men. It's just more
Yeah,
important for most women. So
yeah, I
yes,
could see
I
that.
enjoy those talks too, is all that to say.
Okay,
Maybe
good,
not as much as you
good,
sometimes, but I
good,
definitely enjoy them.
good. Okay, so number 3 is honesty and openness. We just want a man that's going to be honest and open with us so that we can feel emotionally safe with them. And that transparency, it builds trust.
Mm,
So that's important to us. We don't want a guy that's, a liar and or sneaky or yeah, or just doesn't open up, say
right.
much. I mean,
One word answers.
yes.
Yep.
Yes, that's
Nope.
awful. I am so thankful that you're not like that. But there are, I'm sure, men out there, and that would be hard. So that's important to us women. Very important. And then number 4 is financial support. We want that security, not just provision, not just being provided, but just the stability. We want a man that yeah, that's just important to us. I mean, he doesn't have to be rich. No, but like he needs to pay the bills. He needs to show up on, to work on time.
And
We
not
don't,
be working
we
all the
don't,
time.
yeah, we don't want a man with like all these crazy ideas and then, we're going to make some money and they're just so up and down.
Yeah.
They're not, we want that stability. It's super important for a woman. It makes us feel secure. So, and number 5 is family commitment. So we want a husband that is present with his family, that is able to provide for his family also. And then presence is even more important than just providing. We want him to lead the family well. So many women I know have to
Yeah.
wear the pants. I mean, there's a lot of single moms, out there that are having to lead their family. And we don't want to lead our family. At least I don't. I don't. I want you to lead the family and I want to support you. And so, as a Christian wife, I feel like that is super important to me. Just for you to lead spiritually, it's just super important.
Hmm. Well, I'm honored to get to
Yeah.
lead
Yeah.
you, and it's a big responsibility too.
So, yeah.
For
And,
sure.
and so these are just widely identified as top female needs in this book. And yeah, so those are the top 5.
Yeah. And what do you think that most men maybe misunderstand about women in these areas? Or is there one that stands out to you where
Oh, for
you feel
sure.
like women are most
Oh, for sure.
misunderstood?
I feel like definitely affection and conversation. So 1 and 2.
Well, for guys, it's hard to like, it is hard to di- distinguish between sexual affection sometimes and non-sexual affection. And I know sometimes, women want sexual affection,
Yeah.
but also you don't want all the affection to be sexual either. And so for guys, like
Yeah.
it's sometimes we have to learn how to give affection and just keep it non-sexual
Yes, it's hard
sometimes
hard
because
for
it's
guys to do
important
that,
for
but
you sometimes, that's
yes,
important to
yes,
women.
yes.
I feel like that's one of the bigger challenges for men. At least
Well,
I'll speak for
the
myself.
men can start, like, I'll encourage men to start being affectionate, like, in the kitchen as she's making dinner, and that's not just slapping her booty, okay, men? I mean, that is sweet. I mean, I do like it when you do that, but, I mean, that's being playful, but affection as in, rubbing and, um, hugging and kissing and, yeah, just loving on her.
So you think that's the biggest one that
For sure.
guys kind of miss the
For
mark
sure.
on?
Yeah. And then number 2, conversation. Most guys are just, oh, yeah. Like, oh, do I have to sit
Not
and
great conversationalists?
yeah. I mean, some will, sit and they'll listen, and we do want to be heard, but we also want you to talk back to
Right.
us, like, what do you think? What are your thoughts? So,
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
yeah.
So where do you feel like most couples go wrong? Just big picture as it relates to this conversation of his needs, her needs.
Yeah. I think we give like what we want, but not what the other person needs, is what I think.
Kind
You
of like
know,
the love languages.
yeah, just like that. I mean, we just assume like if it matters to me, it must matter to them. I mean, that's honestly how I thought, that first year of marriage. And I didn't understand all this. Like we didn't understand it till later, actually.
Right.
So,
We're slow learners.
yeah, very much so. There's also the dating versus marriage gap. So we used to do this naturally without the need for intentionality. Then life got busy and now it doesn't happen naturally. So I
Yeah,
think that's,
that's a lot of couples.
yeah, a lot of couples. And then good intentions don't meet needs. Intentional actions do. And then this is why this topic, knowing and understanding our spouse's needs, is so important. And each of us really must be intentional to fulfill those needs if we desire a
Which we do.
performing relationship rich marriage.
Yes, we do desire a high performing relationship rich marriage.
Which I feel like we have now. Like,
well, we do.
it took
but
work.
it still takes work.
Yeah, it took us a while to figure out, but now it's like, and once you get there, it's like, this is easy.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I knew all this stuff. And so that's why like we're so passionate about this podcast, so that you can learn all this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if it's ever easy, but yeah, it is a lot easier now for sure.
A lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to give the wrong impression like marriage
Yeah.
is easy because
No,
there's always
it's
going to be
not.
challenges,
No,
right?
that's just life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another concept that the book talks about is the love bank, I think is what they call it, concept. And simply put, it's a great way, I think, just to, if nothing else, to visualize this whole topic of needs that may be helpful to you as well. And you can think of it like this, like your spouse has this emotional bank account. Okay. It's an emotional account. It's not really a bank account. Let's call it just a emotional account for you. Every word you speak, every action you do is either doing one of two things. It's either putting something in, it's making a deposit into this account, or it's that word or that action is taking something out. It's making a withdrawal. Yeah. And over time, the balance in the account determines how they feel about you.
That is so good.
Marriage.
That is so
Isn't
good.
that good?
I'm a visual, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I could just, yeah.
Yes, it is good.
So how you doing?
I'm feeling quite full.
Do I need to make more deposits?
Yeah, I'm no more deposits is always welcome, but I'm feeling quite good, actually. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so let's talk just like, what are deposits? I mean, it probably goes without saying, but a deposit is anything that's going to make your spouse feel loved, respected, seen, heard, valued. Those are deposits. Okay. So some examples could be listening without interrupting them. You were just talking about good conversation. That's part of it, right? Listening without interrupting, hugging, kissing, affection. You were talking about that too, right? Making deposits, saying how much I appreciate you and why. Like, I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate you doing this. Going on a date, maybe meeting with or meeting one of their core value needs, or one of their core needs, core values. I'm thinking about our core values. I was just looking at that yesterday for our business. But meeting one of their core needs, these create positive emotional feelings, and they add to your balance, or to her balance, or his balance, right?
Okay. So then what's a withdrawal?
Yeah. So go ahead. What is a withdrawal?
Do you want me to tell it?
Yeah, go for it.
So withdrawal is anything that makes your spouse feel hurt, disrespected, ignored, unimportant. So an example would be, criticizing your spouse, This is a huge one. A lot of people do this today, and I have been guilty, right? I mean, it's okay. You
It's
can
happened.
say it.
It
You can
definitely has
say
been known to happen.
it. But being distracted on your phone,
Yeah.
I mean, that is going to leave you. It's going to make you feel unimportant,
Yeah.
ignored.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm
I
over
think we've
here.
all done that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all have. Harsh tone, like, yeah, being a little angry and
That would be more me. Yes.
and yeah, that hurts you.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you might feel, just super hurt by that. And not meeting their needs and a broken trust would be another one. So these create negative emotional feelings and it actually subtracts from your balance.
Yeah. So
And we don't want that.
No, we don't want that. So you can think of it as every action, again, is either making a deposit or it's making a withdrawal. And how full or how empty their love bank is determined by lots of deposits. Love bank is full. They're going to feel loved. Lots of withdrawals. Love bank is empty. They're going to feel distant. That's just the reality of it. Okay. So let's make this practical and personal. And let's think about, as we start to wrap this episode up this week, what deposits can you make this week? What can you do to make deposits into your spouse's love bank, if you don't put that in quotes? And I think that's a great challenge to really walk into. So let's talk a little bit about that challenge.
So here's our challenge to you this week. Step 1, identify the top 2 needs that you each have. So what are your top 2 that we just
what are his or hers?
talked about? Like we have our top 2. And then step 2, ask your spouse directly. So ask them, what makes you feel most loved by me? And then step 3, weekly check-ins. So each week, just simply ask them, hey, how am I doing meeting your needs?
Yeah.
I always like to ask, I know we do this a lot on a scale from 1 to 10. How am I doing meeting those needs?
Yeah.
And you might be like, you're 3, like, oh man, I need to get better. And then step 4, I'm sorry, serve, don't score.
Okay.
So
since you brought up the 1 to 10, I got to just add one more thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So when I ask how I'm doing on a 1 to 10 and she tells me a 3, we've got to tell them the next part.
Yeah.
So you then have to ask them, what's one thing I can do to improve that number? Okay. That's really important. It doesn't matter what Nicole tells me. I'm a 2, I'm a 10, I'm a 7, I'm a 1, I'm a -8. It doesn't matter. The number doesn't matter. All that matters is the answer to the next question. And the next question is, what can I do? What is one thing I can do to improve that score?
Yeah.
And she's going to tell you what that one, or he's going to tell you what that one thing is. And now it's been teed up for you. Just go do it. Just go do it. Don't worry about your number. Just go do it. So I just wanted to.
And then I'll just go over step 4 again, although I already said it, but, make sure you're serving the other person. Just focus on that. Don't keep score. There's
good, Nicole.
Don't keep track.
Mm-mm.
And then just, lead with love. And
so that's the challenge.
Yeah, that's it. Pretty much. I think that's it. I think
so 4 things. Identify.
And we'll do this. Let's do it with them.
Yeah, we'll do it with you. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know when this is going to be airing, but we could do it for the whole month.
Okay.
Let's do it.
The whole month.
All right.
We've got it.
You shake on that?
I'm shaking
All right,
on it.
let's do it.
We've got it. All right. We're in. We're in with you. Let's go.
Yes.
Okay. So step 1, we're going to identify the top 2 needs of you and your spouse, right? Step 2, you're going to ask your spouse directly, what makes you feel the most loved by me? Okay. Well, I guess I kind of combine those 2. Step 1 is you identify your top 2. Step 2 is you identify your spouse's top 2. And how are you going to do that? By asking them. Okay. Step 3 is you're going to have a weekly check-in and simply ask your spouse, how am I meeting your needs? And by the way, weekly is minimum. Okay. You can do this daily, but minimum weekly. And step 4 is serve and don't score. Don't keep score. Don't keep score. Yeah. You just give, regardless of what comes back to you. Yep. And with that's an episode for another time, but just trust me, it's worth it. And remember this, love is a choice. It's not just a feeling. Okay. I
So
guess there's
good.
some certain aspects of love, and there's many different words for love, right? That are feeling related, but love, godly, biblical, God, agape type love is not a feeling, it's a choice. So try to
Mm.
outdo each other.
Ooh, I like
You
that.
like
You know
that?
how competitive I
Yeah.
am. You're competitive. Like, I'm going to outdo you.
Well, it's very biblical. It's very biblical to outdo the other person. Romans 12:10 actually talks about it. It says, outdo one another in showing honor,
That's so awesome.
right? So
That's an
outdo one
awesome
another
verse. I love
in
it.
showing honor. I love that.
Yeah.
And marriage is a daily opportunity to outdo your spouse
That's
at
so
giving and
good.
serving and not just to be served. And I love that.
Mm,
What a great
yes.
thing that we have.
Yep. I agree. So, if this episode has been helpful and encouraging and challenging to you, will you please share it with your spouse and anyone else that you know that would value leveling up their marriage?
Yes. And we'd love to hear from you this week. Specifically, will you DM us or email us what you believe you and your spouse's top two
Ooh,
needs
yeah,
are?
that'd be fun.
Top through
I want
two,
to
top
know.
three, top five, whatever
Sure.
you want to share. But I'm saying keep it simple. Top two. Our contact information is in the show notes below this episode, as well as on our website at allanandnicole.com, spelled ALLAN and AND, Nicole, NICOLE.com, where you will also find many other free resources that can be helpful to you as well. So, Nicole, what do we have in store for them next week?
Well, guess what? It's going to be a
Ah,
surprise. Yes,
surprise.
it's a good one.
Okay, it's a good
So
one.
we'll leave it at that.
We've told you every week what comes next week, but this week we're just saying it's a surprise. And we have a
Mhm.
very good reason for that,
Yes.
which is a secret.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you'd be willing to leave us a 5-star review for this podcast, specifically Impact Marriage, on your favorite podcast app, or possibly share it on your social media, that would really mean the world to us. Our social media links, again, are in the show notes below, excuse me. And we really want to get this out to as many people as possible because, we do this. We don't monetize this podcast in any way. There's no ads, as you notice. We're not selling anything. We really just want to bless people. And the only way that this information can bless anybody is if they get to hear it. So we really appreciate you helping us, and the reviews and the ratings. They actually, some way, somehow, I don't understand it all, help get it out to more people. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All right, let's close in prayer. Father, I just thank you so much for making women and men so different, and the things that can be such a frustration to us in the opposite sex. It can be also the most amazing blessing. And I pray that we would see the differences the way you see them, as miraculous blessings in our life, blessings for our marriage, and that we would really desire to go after finding out what is the greatest needs of our spouse and really going after serving them regardless of what we get back in return, and just trusting you with the rest, and trusting you with the blessings that will come, and the fruit that will come from it. And I thank you again for the opportunity to get to have a podcast and get to share some of your principles and your word and things we've learned through marriage to hopefully bless many others. And I just pray you'd continue to bless this podcast in Jesus' name, and bless our listeners
Yes.
and their marriages. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Thank you for being part of the Impact Marriage community, everyone. Have a great week.
Yes. See you next week. Bye-bye.